G'day guys, and welcome back to Irish Ham Radio. I'm Dave, EI5IMB, and in this video I'm going to go through the evolution of my shack from before I was licensed up to the present. So let's have a look. Yep, so here's the old bench in the shed. You may remember from my early videos of my first SSTV event and satellite listening that I was actually at this bench in the shed, and just outside I have an antenna. All that really remains here now is the battery system hooked up to the solar panel on the roof and a few mobile antennas there. So let's go outside and have a look at the antenna pole, which hasn't changed. So I used to have a little catenary wire coming from the corner of the shed then, just over to this pole, which was always mounted on the wall here for a long time, or for a while. And that went down into this box where I had my antenna connections from the top of the pole. Now that's the current setup. What used to just be up there was some older VHF and UHF antennas, and then I made this QFH also for listening to the satellites and for NOAA weather pictures. So I guess now on to my current setup. So as you can see, working from the antennas in, I actually have a marine band antenna up there, which I also use for the 2 meter repeater locally. It's fairly close SWR wise, I'm happy enough, plus I'm right on the coast here for the marine. So as you can see my homemade dipole, fan dipole center box that I made in my previous video. It's at the top of that pole there. I suppose it's about 4 meters up. I have my QFH for satellite receive, and the marine in the center. And you can see the two fans of my fan dipole heading off that way. That's 20 and 40, and the other one heading towards the house that way. Then the feeder cables from them come down the pole and into this box at the bottom, on an IP rated box. And you can see I just have the cable there, not mad neat at the minute, and I still have to add a lightning arrestor. But all the 3 antenna cables come in here, and any future antennas or any antennas I change, the cables will come into this box. And then going out the far side here, I have my my feeder cables back to the house. So they go down here. Again, they're in Copex, but I need to armor protect these a bit better, maybe with some steel guard like I have on the power cables coming across. And they go into a duct which goes all the way underground to the house, and they pop back out here at the corner. In one of them Copexes there are 2 RG58s, and in the other there is an LMR 400, a heavier gauge cable, and they go all the way just past along the ground and into the house there, in 2 PVC pipes which are sealed up. And basically that brings you into my room where I have my shack. So let's have a look at that. And then this is what is now my shack. So as you can see there, going from left to right, we'll start. So I have my hand portable units here. The Anytone AT878 UV Plus, I think it is, and a Baofeng there as well. Got the iPad sitting here. It's usually handy to look up stuff on QRZ.com or different things to the side of the computer. Have my VHF MD785, which I generally, when I'm here, I would leave sitting on the St. John's Point repeater, the local repeater, and SWR and power meter above that. Connected to my VHF feed, I have a switch, and the reason for this is it's normally on the VHF for the MD785, but I also have another tail here that I can switch to and plug into my Anytone AT878 UV Plus that you saw over there with the hand portables, and I usually sit it on top of here because the audio was easier to get off that with just your normal audio lead into the computer, into the laptop, whenever I am doing NOAA picture downloads or SSTV downloads. Of course, I have my power supply, KPO. It's a 30 amp. I find that it does everything I need. And to power all the equipment from my 30 amp KPO power supply, I bought a PowerPole distribution unit here off eBay. It wasn't that expensive, but it's a great job. It comes with a number of connectors as well, so that you can make off the connectors and a number of fuses. So that's the way my power is distributed. It's a real neat job. I definitely recommend them. Plus it means that you can, if you bring your radio, maybe mobile or portable, if everything's PowerPole, everything's interconnectable. Beside that then, I have my FT891. Might be able to see the screen if I, refocus that. Yaesu FT891. Usually I operate around 50 watts, and unless I'm really trying to stretch something, I might throw it up to the 100 the odd time. I have my laptop here, and I'll just show you the apps that I use for logging. So I use an app here called DX Keeper. It's a free app for logging, and it will sync to LOTW, Logbook of the World. There's also an extension of that called, there it is there, Log Publisher, that will then also export your QSOs over to QRZ.com. So I keep a double logbook. I keep this the same logbook on LOTW and QRZ.com. And finally, I have my network radio, hand portable, an Enrico T320, which I often use on network radios, channel 0, and on the Southern Ireland repeater network, among a few other private channels. So that is the evolution of my shack to date. Some of the things that I've learned, I suppose, over time is that even if you're someone like I was a few months ago, pre-license, and you're in a position where maybe you're building a house or you're doing some groundwork at the house, definitely think about when you get licensed, you're going to have an antenna. Or maybe you're already licensed and you're just doing some work around the house and you're thinking about relocating your antennas. Think really smartly about where your antenna could actually be, and try to get a duct or an underground route for your cables back to your house. Because I would definitely say, I initially thought that when I got into radio, before I was licensed, I thought when I get into radio, I'd just put it in the shed and I'd be doing it now and then, and that'd be good enough, you know. But the reality is that you want to do it in comfort, and you nearly want something like this. Is where I also work when I'm working from home. So it's really easy to flick on the radio whenever I have a break, like at lunchtime or just after work, or even listening or leaving the repeater on during the day. So think about all of that. So you do want to kind of prepare yourself to put it in a place of comfort for you. In my case, it's in this spare room, which I've sort of converted to an office for working from home. But yeah, that's the only real insights I can give you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll come back for more. If you liked it, please give it a little like, or even hit that subscribe button if you want to get notified about more videos from me and Irish Ham Radio. 7 3s, guys.